Hi friends, so we are going to do a corn drawing, and the reason why we're doing this is because we are learning about the native people in the Midwest, and we're doing corn because corn was really important to the native communities. So I'm just going to read a couple of different things for you so that you guys can hear lots of different things. And this passage I'm about to read is from Indigenous Food, Stories, and Recipes from the Upper Midwest, which is where we are. Think of the three sisters, corn, beans, and squash. These staples of indigenous North American eating have fed the world, especially in terms of corns and beans, now dominant food species across the globe. These foods have been grown and carefully stewarded by the first people of our region. My ancestors, so the person who wrote this book, Heidi E. Edrich, I believe is native, and she is talking about her ancestors, so her family from a long time ago, included from a very long time. Of course, we did not engineer genetic modifications, but we did cultivate many of these foods. We did not just pick them here or in there when we stumbled across them from the wilds, as the term hunter-gatherer suggests. We grew in relationship to the foods and they to us. We continue to protect the three sisters, so corn, beans, and squash, in their early and non-GMO forms. So that means that they were altered with different kind of science, right? And we hoped a little advice will encourage you to do so. So many Native communities today are working to save endangered indigenous corn species. And so there's lots of different acts that help, and they go through Minnesota and Wisconsin and North Dakota and lots of different places. So here's another passage I wanted to share with you. This is from the same book. One of the wonderful things about talking with indigenous people about corn is hearing them refer to corn as our relative. This is a native tribe. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but I believe it's Anishinaabe perspective. This makes sense. Corn is a gift from the Creator, given through a half-human spirit who pulled it from his own body. Or so it goes in the story I have heard. Other indigenous cultures tell of corn falling from the sky into the pockets of the first woman. Indigenous corn cultures from Mexico and Central America, where corn was first domesticated thousands of years ago, speak to the intelligentness of corn and humans. So, when it comes to art, what we're doing is we're going to be looking at a piece of corn, and we are going to be drawing that. So on your iPads, you can go and you can look up a different piece of corn, right? And from that, all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start drawing it. And I'm drawing through what's called observation. So I'm looking and I'm drawing. So if I have my corn up here, I'm going to see that its shape is kind of like a long oval, right? But I also have lots of leaves attached to it, okay? So I'm going to see where the leaves go. So some of these leaves overlap, which means go on top of the corn piece, right? And they go over, right? I also have this kind of husk part, right? And this, right, is all different, right? It's kind of like, has these lines here. Okay, so as I continue on, I see my husk of the corn, which are these like green pieces, continue up, right? Once I have that, I can erase any lines that I overlapped, which means go over, right? So I got that, okay. And now I can focus on the corn. So the corn part is probably the hardest, right? Because we're gonna go little by little, okay? And they're all just squares. Now, in order to save some time here and not have you guys literally just look at me draw little squares on here, I'm gonna skip to the next step, which is just talking about coloring. We're gonna use colored pencils. And as you can see with this, the corn that we have here, it's not like just the yellow corn we usually see. So indigenous corn has lots of different colors to it, like orange and brown and red, as well as yellow. And then the husk right here is usually green, but do you see how I added a little bit of yellow, a little bit of that light green to it too? Those add the different kind of things to it, which make it lots different and make it more interesting, right? So slowly go and draw that. Really make sure that you're looking at the picture, really focusing on it, right? And that's what we're doing today. We're using our colored pencils, really making sure we go little by little. And there we go. I hope that you're all doing well, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye, friends.